how's it going? It's That Nerd Ryan here, and today we are going to be talking about the 5 things I don't like about Empire Strikes Back, and the 5 things that I love about Rise of Skywalker. If you didn't watch the video yesterday, or you're not too sure what's going on, so basically what I'm doing is I am, for the week of Valentine's Day, at least up until my Pokemon videos, because I actually gotta get back to watching movies, I'm going to be saying my 5 least favorite things about my favorite movie in a franchise, and my 5 favorite things about my least favorite movie in a franchise. So yesterday we did Marvel, being No Way Home as my favorite, and Thor the Dark World as my least favorite. And this one, we are doing my least favorite things about my favorite Star Wars movie, Empire Strikes Back, and my my favorite things about my least favorite Star Wars movie being The Rise of Skywalker. So, without further ado, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me on all my social media down below. And let's get into it with my first least favorite thing about Empire Strikes Back. And this is, if you looked at my notes, you'd be confused, because I just realized this happens twice in the movie. But in the beginning, Luke being in the Wampa Cave. Just ever since I was a kid, I never really cared for that scene. I don't know why. But I mean, ever since I was like 3 years old, this entire scene, I was just like, okay, this is kind of boring. Yes, we get to see Luke use the Force for the first time. And it's pretty substantial, but just ever since I was a kid, the whole beginning up until the Battle of Hoth, I was just kind of bored with. I was like, let's get to the action, let's get to it. And I feel like, in all honesty, the movie does pick up when the Battle of Hoth happens. And I feel like the whole opening beforehand is just kind of boring. So now let's talk about my first favorite thing about Rise of Skywalker. And that's Ben Solo in general. When we get Kylo coming back to being Ben Solo, just how he acts, you could tell he's his father's son. You could also tell he's his mother's son. Adam Driver just plays it perfectly as somebody that is the son of Han and Leia. And it's a shame that we only get to see it for about 20 minutes, because I would love just to see Ben be Ben. But yeah, because he just was the best part of the movie, honestly. So then number 2 of my least favorite things is, again, it's like, once we get the I am your father line, the movie kind of gets boring after that. And that kind of starts with me with the Falcon saving Luke from the edge of Cloud City. It just, after that, it's kind of like, okay, we get it. They're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. Yes, it's bittersweet, but whatever. Come on, get to the end. But yeah, it like I don't know why, but the very beginning 10 minutes or 20 minutes and the ending 10 minutes for Empire Strikes Back are just extremely boring for me, and I don't know why. I think it's just stemming from when I was a kid. I will say this list was very hard to write for both sides, so I am kind of picking the bottom of the barrel. Number 2 is the scene between Kylo Ren, aka Ben Solo, and Han. That, no matter what, that always makes me cry, that whole scene, because you can tell in Adam Driver's face the regret that he's had since that moment of killing his father. And it just shows that, like, he really, like, regrets it, and Ben Solo is ready to come back. And it's just a phenomenal scene. And then next we have, for my least favorite part of Empire Strikes Back, is the hiding in the asteroid. Again, it's kind of one of those, like, character development scenes, but, like, them spending time in the Falcon just repairing stuff while they're sitting in the mouth of the giant worm, it kind of felt boring. It's one of those, like, they're just sitting doing nothing. And again, like I said, this is the hardest thing to write right now, because I love this movie. It's, to me, almost flawless, and I really had to pick stuff mostly that I didn't like as a kid. So yeah, the Empire Strikes Back stuff is very pushed back because it's basically what I thought as a preteen teenager about the movie. And then for number 3 for Rise of Skywalker, the scene with Luke's ghost. Again, any scene with the original trilogy characters, except for Leia, which I sound terrible for saying that, but like how they used ADR and stuff on Leia just wasn't right. But all the original trilogy characters that they used just had phenomenal payoffs and everything like that. Han talking to Ben, and then Luke talking to Rey, and pulling up the X-Wing with ease and everything like that. It was a phenomenal scene. That's another one that always brings a tear to my eye. So number 4, here's finally my first legitimate criticism of Empire Strikes Back. Not just Boba Fett, but the underuse of all the bounty hunters. We are introduced to these cool-looking bounty hunters that 90% of them only get one scene of just standing there. And then we get Boba Fett, who has about 4 scenes of just standing there. We get introduced to these really cool characters that don't do anything, and we have to read outside source material to find out who they are and stuff like that. I mean, nowadays it's a lot easier to access, but back then you just get these 5 or 6 guys that are cool looking, and that's it. And it would have been really kind of a cool thing to like, oh, maybe they stopped off somewhere else with the Falcon, and then all of a sudden all the other bounty hunters start showing up and trying to kill Han, or to capture Han. But, yeah, that would have been really kind of cool. So, number 4, this is going to be very controversial. I actually liked the light speed skipping. I thought it was kind of a cool concept, and they mentioned how it's dangerous and everything like that. So it's not like it's oh, we could just do this whenever. And it makes me think of the Nile, in all honesty, with the light speed skipping. And I think that's like where they're getting the idea of the Nile. And I like to think that maybe the Spice Runners of Kijimi used to be Nile. But that's a theory video for next week. But yeah, the light speed skipping I thought was pretty cool, and I actually really like that in the High Republic too. So yeah, so let's move on to my last favorite thing in Empire Strikes Back, and that is during the duel between Luke and Vader, where Vader just kind of starts throwing stuff at Luke, and you could tell, I think Mark Hamill thought it was dumb too, and was just kind of like, oh, okay, I'll do something, but I'm not going to do much. It just felt like a weird scene, kind of. And I get, like, the thematical concept there, that Vader's a master in the Force, and Luke kind of ran to it. Ran to the fight that he wasn't prepared for. But it kind of felt like just meh, in my sense. And then let's talk about the last thing that I like in Rise of Skywalker. And I'm going to say it like this, because if I say it like this, you're going to completely understand. So, one thing that I want to critique really quick. The third act of Rise of Skywalker is a ripoff of the third act of Avengers Endgame. And my issue with that is that, or the thing that I like about that is the Avengers Assemble scene that we get of all the ships coming in. It's all ships we know, and it's just phenomenal. I honestly cheered in theaters, and my heart flutters every time I see that scene. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me what scenes you like and dislike from your least favorite and favorite movies down in the comments below. Also, make sure you subscribe and follow me on all my social media down below. Thank you guys. Have an amazing day.